Hey, coin fans, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about BlackRock's XRP ETF, which is one of the most exciting new events in the world of cryptocurrencies. We'll talk about why it could cause what is known as the mother of all short squeezes, which would drive the price of XRP to an insane $75,000. This isn't like any other ETF start. A lot of people don't fully understand what a physical-backed ETF is, but it will have huge effects on the XRP market, and those who think it won't. Hold on tight because we're about to go into great detail about how this financial tool works, why hedge funds are about to be woken up, and how the SEC's impending approval could change everything. First, let us talk about what an ETF is and why the difference between an actual and a synthetic ETF is so important. Exchange-traded funds, or ETFs, are a type of investment fund that lets people buy shares that represent a group of assets. When it comes to traditional finance, ETFs have changed the way people spend by making it easier and cheaper to get a diversified portfolio. When it comes to cryptocurrencies, ETFs can follow the price of digital assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, or XRP. This makes it easier for both large and small buyers to get into the market without having to buy tokens directly from exchanges. But not every ETF works the same, and this is where things get interesting. The two main types of ETFs that are important in the crypto space are synthetic ETFs and real-backed ETFs. The real cryptocurrency is not held by synthetic ETFs. Instead, they use futures contracts or options to copy how the asset's price moves. This means that when you buy a fake ETF share, you don't actually buy XRP, Bitcoin, or any other precious metal. In a way, you're buying a financial contract that says it will follow the asset's price. There are some good things about some synthetic ETFs. While they might be easier to regulate and cheaper to run, the main problem is that they don't actually make people want the core asset. This is very important because it means that even if the ETF becomes more famous, it might not mean that more people will want to buy the real cryptocurrency. An ETF that is physically backed, on the other hand, holds the underlying commodity. Each share that the ETF gives out is equal to a real piece of XRP that is kept safely in banks. This means that BlackRock needs to buy real XRP on the open market and store it safely before they can give out new ETF shares. It is directly linked to getting XRP tokens that shares are made. This is very important because it means that the ETF keeps making a big demand for XRP in the real world. There is a demand that needs to be met by real purchases, not just verbal promises. You might be wondering why this difference affects the price of XRP. The answer lies in how supply and demand work and how market players, especially short sellers, act. People or hedge funds who bet that the price of an object will go down are called short sellers. They take XRP, sell it at the current price, and plan to buy it back later at a lower price. They keep the difference. The trouble for shorts is that if the price goes up instead, they could lose all of their money and have to buy back XRP quickly at prices that keep going up. This is called a short squeeze. Because of regulatory uncertainty like the SEC's long-term warnings and legal moves, many hedge funds have been shorting XRP for years. They had thought that the price would stay low or even go down, but they weren't ready for the huge demand that BlackRock's ETF will have. For BlackRock's ETF to be literally backed, the fund managers have to buy XRP to back up each ETF share. The ETF will buy all the XRP tokens that are available, like a huge buyer who always comes into the market with big orders. As soon as the ETF starts to buy this much XRP, shorts who have bet against it will feel the pressure. They will have to buy back XRP to cover their investments and keep their losses to a minimum. This makes demand go back and forth, causing the price to rise quickly and more. When you think about how liquid XRP really is, the situation gets even worse. When compared to Bitcoin, which has a fairly high free float and liquidity, XRP has a surprisingly low circulating amount that can be traded. A lot of XRP tokens are either lost or locked up in large wallets that are kept for a long time. This means that there is less free float or XRP that is easy to buy and sell. This means that BlackRock's first purchases could make up a big chunk of the XRP that is available on the market, making the squeeze effect stronger. Prices can go through the roof in just a few hours or days when big institutions rush to buy something that is in short supply. During this squeeze, some experts and insiders think that the price of XRP could reach as high as $75,000. You might be skeptical because it sounds too good to be true, but do the math. During a panic, prices can go way beyond their basic values when supply is low and demand is high all at once. It's not just a guess, it's a possible outcome if you know how supply and demand work, how ETFs are structured, and how shorts are stuck on the wrong side. The SEC's approval schedule is the last piece of the puzzle. Reports say that BlackRock's XRP ETF could be approved at any time, even in a few days or weeks. The shorts are still set up to profit from XRP's price falling because they don't know about the real demand mechanism built into this ETF. They don't know that a storm is starting to form. In other words, we might be about to see a market event that will go down in history. When the ETF is approved and BlackRock starts buying XRP, there will be a short squeeze, prices will go through the roof, shorts will cover quickly, and small players could see gains that are on par with some of the biggest moves in the history of crypto. People who own XRP should pay close attention to this event. Those who are thinking about getting into the market need to know how it works. The gains that could be earned are huge, but there will be volatility. As prices rise and fall quickly in the market, it will be important to control risk and time your moves. To sum up, BlackRock's XRP ETF is a new type of cryptocurrency investment tool. ETFs that are backed by real assets and drive people to buy real XRP. Because hedge funds have heavily shorted XRP based on old ideas, this buying demand will cause a huge short squeeze. Because there isn't much XRP available, the effect will be stronger, and the SEC's approval is about to happen, which could lead to one of the biggest rises in crypto history. XRP could go as high as $75,000 or even higher. This isn't just an idea, it's how the market works because of ETFs, shorts, limited supply, and the buying power of institutions. Thanks for taking the time to learn more about BlackRock's XRP ETF and the big short squeeze. That's coming up. If this video was helpful to you, please like, follow, and click the bell to get more videos like this. Type your ideas in the box below. Will this ETF be the thing that finally makes XRP go to the moon? Keep yourself safe and up to date, and I'll see you next time. Nota bene, please keep in mind that I'm not a qualified financial manager. The information in these movies is only meant to be entertaining. Before making any financial decisions, I always tell my viewers to do their own study and talk to professionals. Thanks for listening. Do not forget to hit the follow button and give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Make sure you turn on alerts so you know right away when I post something new. In the next movie, I can't wait to catch up with you. Be careful.